SNS College of Technology, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Principles of Operating System. This session, we are going to have a discussion on operating system structures. So before we get into what actually is an operating system structures are, we need to know what is an operating system structure. An operating system structure describes how the components of an operating system are organized and how they interact with each other. It also defines the way the core functions such as process management, memory management, file handling, and device control are arranged inside the OS. A good OS structure helps here to improve the performance, security, reliability, and ease of maintenance. The different structures includes starting from this simple, monolithic, layered, microkernel, and modular, which are all used here based on their system requirements and design goals. So in this particular session, the different OS structures we will be discussing includes simple structure, monolithic structure, layered structure, microkernel structure, and modular or hybrid structure. Now, a simple structure. In an operating system, a simple structure here refers to an operating system design that is small, straightforward, and minimally layered, where most of the OS functionalities, that is, operating system functionalities, is placed together rather than divided into many well defined modules. Here, this OS is easy to design and implement, but harder to maintain or extend. It is fast in execution due to its minimal overhead, low security and reliability compared to the modern OS designs. One major example here that we can quote is the commonly used operating system, the MS-DOS or Microsoft DOS, disk operating system structure. The simple structure here is being diagrammatically represented in the figure where we have the application program, which is going to be the user interface, and the ROM BIOS device drivers, which are being used here by the application programs to interact with the OS and respond to the user request. The next one that we will be discussing here is the monolithic structure. Compared to the earlier one, here the monolithic structure is a structure where the entire OS works as one big program running in kernel mode. You can see the difference here. We have two different modes on this particular structure definition, where one is going to be the user mode, another one is the kernel mode. Where the user mode is going to have a unprivileged, where compared to the kernel mode where everything is been privileged. The user will be working with the applications where in the kernel mode, the user application request is being forwarded to the operating system for further operation and processing and responding it back to the user through the application program where the user has interacted with. All the main services like the process management, memory management, file system, and device drivers are part of the kernel and they communicate directly with each other. This design makes the system fast and efficient, but if one part fails, it can affect the whole system. It is also harder to maintain and debug. And one example that we can quote here is the Unix and the Linux operating system, which has been commonly used. In today's session, we had discussed what actually an operating system structure is. What are the various types of operating system structures available? And also in detail, we had seen about the simple operating system structure, its advantages and disadvantages, and also the monolithic operating system structure, its advantages and disadvantages. In the coming up session, we will be discussing in detail the remaining structures the layered structure, microkernel structure, and modular or hybrid structure. So I will see you again in the next session. Thank you.